Welcome back to what will be the final battle of Chapter 2. And like a couple of other moments in this chapter, it can get pretty hard if you don't know what you're doing. Although, just like Vaults earlier on, it is mostly the boss that contributes to that. Abusing Finn's hero Lance here to get rid of a large amount of those Lance Knights who seem to like to target him for some reason. That actually happens in Chapter 3 as well. Ah, great, he's now down to prayer range. Most enemies won't be able to hit him now. Although you still need to keep an eye on the boss. Although I think he'll probably go for Lex. Although that lance is going to need repairing soon. Interesting flaw in the way the AI moves. Because the healers move before the boss does, that actually means they can't heal any damage the boss suffers in a counterattack from one of your units. Which makes him more prone to being killed in your turn. Oh no, he went for Kuan with a javelin, that was odd. Didn't he just say the same thing twice in that last sentence? Ah, coward, running away like that. Now, let's take out Mr. Pallete-Swap and the rest of his minions. Oh, I was hoping for an Astra there. Good thing about Holland is that he can take out most weaker enemies in 2 hits, whereas Ira sort of relies on Astra. Yeah, without critical hits, Myrmidons do seem a bit weaker than they do in other games, but something Ira gets in the next chapter is going to balance that out and turn her basically into an uber slaughter machine. Comparable to most Radiant Dawn Sword Masters. Well, except Lucia. Not that Lucia's bad, per se, it's just the others are usually better. More free experience. Right, what I'm planning to do here is I'm going to set up some kind of pattern so that Sylvia can dance for a large number of people. In a situation like this, it's very good to get Sylvia to refresh the movement of 4 characters at once, because that'll really help in a situation like this, and if you do it right, it can get you 4 extra kills. Yeah, never underestimate a large amount of weak enemies. They will wear you down, so every extra one gone really counts. Oh, come on! Now I spent all that time setting up a free kill for her, and her growths fail on me. It's best to plan carefully in these parts. So I preferably want Zain dead, or him to lose so many of his knights that he alone doesn't really pose much of a threat to us. Ah, thought that might happen. Yeah, those troubadours tend to have reasonably high speed. It's not that good compared to most of your characters, but Beowulf's having a bit of speed trouble. Again, no Astra. I'm not having a lucky set of combats with Ira. Right, now if Finn does this, I'll want him to get out of general combat for a while. And he needs to be healed anyway. Always best to save before taking on this boss, just in case something bad happens. See, now that's why I warned you about this guy. Because he can do that, it's usually best to attempt to take him out in one turn. No, but it is the end of Shargol's Augustria. Sadly though, it's not the end of Mr. Pallete-Swap, as you'll see next chapter. Oh well, he leveled up anyway. That was pretty good. Now, I actually haven't explained that much about Levin's growth rate, except that he's amazing. So, basically, he has decent magic and skill, but his speed growth is completely overkill. Like, it's actually pretty close to 90. Mainly due to Wholeseti blood. And his magic isn't that great in his normal class, but for some reason he has a promotion gain of like +9 in magic, which means once he becomes a sage, he starts to get almost broken. I mean, if he had Pursuit, he'd be literally completely broken. Surely they wouldn't give us a character like that. Seti. That was a very, very, very good thing I healed Sigurd with Lachesis. Can never be too careful with these ballistas around. I don't think I need to worry about her that much. Also, she has that prayer sword, which gives her the prayer skill while she has it. But it's generally quite rare she'll benefit from it until she's promoted. In fact, mostly it just helps in the arena. That being said, it does make her surprisingly decent in the arena before she promotes, which is pretty good if I must say.